It's Monday morning, the 6th of February, I think it is. I don't know without looking at my diary. Sun is shining, what is a massive bonus, because the cows, what I've calved so far up on the spring unit, I think it's like 21, 22, are now out of grass. So they're going to be out once a day, but they come in, they go out about 9:30 when the sun just comes out and pushes all this misty, foggy, freezing air out of the way. And then they come back in probably about 12, 1ish to have a bit of silage and then be milked again. So due date was yesterday on the heifers, and due date on the milking cows is actually on the 11th. What I didn't actually know, but I did know, but I probably forgot. Tim told me it's the 11th, so we've got a bit more time there yet. So but no, we've got some early ones coming out. The calves are getting slightly bigger. I thought they were coming out small, but it's just early. Heifers, they're calving all right, so it's good to get some heifer milk in the tank because it's a lot better stuff. I'm up on the silage clamps at the moment on the all year round calving unit. As you can see, we're starting to come towards the end of a clamp. I thought it was going to get us to the end of February, but I do not think so. Middle clamp there though, that is a bloody dirt heap, and then we've got a maize clamp behind. So I think we're going to be sorted. We are buying silage in to really safeguard our backs, because it's nice to have a bit of silage going through the spring and through the summer. So Toby's down there at the moment on the calving, on the dry cow unit. So he's nearly finished there, and hopefully he'll come up with a bucket in a minute. Hopefully he's looking at me on the wall thinking I better get up my ass out there and get man. And then I'm going to cut this sheet off here and chuck that top sheet there, what's half hanging down, and then we've got one top sheet left here. So quite a biggish job. I'm going to slice down here with a knife. And then yesterday getting silage out was a little bit sketchy. I had to push a bit of sheet back and whatnot with trying to load it, scratch a bit out, but it all went alright. I wasn't here yesterday, I was in Wales biking. I had quite a hardcore session actually at the weekend. I went out Friday night, Saturday night, and then was out all day Sunday, so it was a bit of a mad one, but I managed to scrape through and get through it. So just about, as you can see, I'm a little bit older. It ages me, stuff like that, definitely. So yeah, I got some biking videos. I put a camera on my chest and I'll show you some of them. I try to get the real cool hardcore bits to make me look like rock solid. Otherwise I don't want to see the little ones where I cry and fall off and scream and shout. I'll show you the ones where I'm like up on the air, you know, man it up a little bit, see what you think. Sunday the 5th, not farming day, biking. Here we go. You know, with the boys up here.
Robert Edwards.
Right, it's the third ride the other day. What are we going to try this time, Tom?
There was a big.
What ride are we going to do? What was the last one? Benny's full facer.
He didn't see it. Straight down he went.
No damage to Mark.
Nobody helped him.
No scars on Benny's face.
Anyway, that was always reminds me of.
Right, what did we just do?
Where the boys are. Connie France.
Piggy something?
Right, we're going to play
Motor Welly.
The one's song from 90s.
Motor Welly, Piggy in the middle or something.
And one from the 70s, and it was
we're going to do something
on this very day.
more bad boy this time.
I think in November of 19.
Bit more red line. A bit more break your arm sort of stuff.
And it was #1 in America for
no one's got work, Mark. No one worries, we've got 6 weeks off.
January 1961.
Murphy Temple Hospital, here we come.
Elvis
Murphy Temple?
Been in the army for 2 years. And when he came back, they didn't know what song to release.
Can't be Bike Park Worlds with a bit of tracking FM. Give video a guy strapping out. Guy, how do you strap your bike on? Hey? Tom's done properly.
And it doesn't go through the bike frame. Keep looking, there is one either side.
Do it properly on camera. Hey, bear's going. Oh, it's a bit more technical, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like that. I grinded me pedal out right in front of everybody.
I took one a bit sideways. The actual first step was the worst step, I reckon.
Yeah, they put that's like a tester.
Once you get on it. It's when you're like, you start to get your wrists start aching. Whoa. Yeah, more technical. Oh, no falling down that bank. Getting scared, boys. Whoop. Woo. Oh shit. Oh. I know it. Ooh. Oh, here we go. And again, and again. Big one, big one. Speed's your friend. See. 1, 2. Right. We are. Oh, wristband. Oh. Let me get Guy coming on down. If he's coming. Coming? Yeah, oh, here he is.
You alright? Keep on? Yeah.
Oh, you're on YouTube, Guy? With a smile on your face, Tom. Whoa. Big one. Oh, what? Lost there. Yeah, shortcut. Coming for him. Lost there. Lost the trail. wrist. Oh, wrist, man. Got on my wrist. Jumping off 8 jumps, those drop-offs. It's 2:15 Monday afternoon. We're just driving the cows out Cupel sheds. Here's the sheds here. Just drove every cow out bay by bay. So we've got 3 sheds and we've drove them out each time. I do the far shed, and I find if I go slow enough on a far shed, Toby does 2 sheds to my 1. Alright, Tobes. Mia's driving the cows out. We're going to shut the door. So this afternoon, what we'll do is I'm going to go up on a spring unit. Kath and Phoebe are milking. Toby's going to scrape up. Mia's going to do the doors for her, and then Mia's going to straw some calves down when Toby dumps the straw in there. Then we're going to feed the calves. This is better weather for calves. Drier. Well, calves are out of Colcott. All 21 fresh calves, right? It might be about 25, 26 now when I got there. I have a few more to drag out. It's kicking off now. What we find in this sunny weather is all the cows just stand out in this bit here, but this is going to get roofed over. So as much as we like cows standing out in the sun, they do eat less silage down the barrier. So then less intakes, less milk and whatnot. But what you do, if they like the sun, you've got to let them stand in it. Go on in. Right, so that's all shed shut off. Alright, I'm gonna leave you lot to it then. I'm just sorting some barriers out. Me and Dad been sorting some out. Got 4 there ready to go. When they've done their time on the farm, they've got to go on. There's no good keeping cows what can't produce milk, can't have a calf and whatnot. So what we do is they go on and they go into the food chain. So these ones here, and we've got a bull there, he's done his time. Keep the bulls for around about 2 years and then they move on, and then we have another one. So he's done his time and they will go on today. We don't ever put any barren animals into the market. They just go straight on, straight into the meat chain. We think that's the best thing for them, instead of having to go through the market and then go on further on. But that's just us, that's what we like to do. We like to keep it plain and simple. The animal's done a good turn for us, so in respect of that, they just go straight on. Dry cows here, we just sorted a few. Some of those barren cows come from here, and one come from at the dairy. These animals here, we have one in there. Well, obviously got dried off, but must have slipped calving, hanging about in there for a bit. So that's freed up a bit of space, because she was fighting with the others all the time, what a typical animal does once she's become a barrener. It's drying up nice this afternoon. It's a lot drier around the sheds. This is all drying up now. What's great, because this is just what we want. It keeps your sheds a lot cleaner. This is out down the feed barrier, see a lot fresher air too it is. Right, at the spring unit. Right, before I go at a spring unit, I'll just show you the calves. 5 calf huts at the moment, that's all we need. The wooden huts are on standby. Learner calves here. Like I said, we start off feeding learner calves first with the feeders, and then we go to the older ones to keep the germs down, and then we clean the feeders after. They're all lined up ready for this afternoon for me to start feeding them. A lot of them are sat outside today. Very easy to feed the calves. We shut these back doors, these back flaps at the moment because of the cold weather. It's blowing in the back a little bit. Toby's going to push the silage up to this afternoon after scraping that. Mia's doing the doors at the moment, and she's going to open that door in a minute for the milk and cows to come straight back into the shed, so nothing stood about waiting. Toby's going to finish off scraping, yeah, push the silage up, put straw in with those calves, do the dry cows, get the milk ready for these calves and whatnot. I should be back about 4 o'clock. I got a milk between 20 and 30 cows. There's 21 yesterday, probably more like 30 today. And anything what needs sorting out there is starting to move on pretty heavy now. So go on out there a minute and have a look, see what's going on. That biking clip I showed you of me and my buddies doing the biking, that was seriously steep downhill. That was. I just watched it back just a minute ago, and it looks quite flat. The camera does not do that any justice. And it's just like this hill here I'm about to drive at. See, this don't look steep, but this is steep. In between the spring and the all year round cabin unit, we have a 400-foot hill. And we also have, one farm's organic, one farm's non-organic, and we also have some organic grain at the bottom of the hill. And we've got, every year, we've got to haul about 200 acres of first cut silage up this hill here. It's pretty savage. But the G115, our little red tractor, the smallest tractor of the fleet, has pulled a 10-ton trailer up over here. So it's all good. I drive up that hill every day, and especially this time of year when we're spring calving. So I just say calving now instead of spring calving. When we're calving up on this farm up here, I drive up it probably 5 or 6 times a day. I do it early in the morning, I do it again after breakfast, and then I do it again in the afternoon. So I know that hill really well, and I've still fucked up on it quite a few times, especially like going down it too fast or on the phone or whatever. It's pretty, you got to take it steady all the time, especially when it snows or it's icy or something like that. So it's about 3 miles in between each farm. All 3 farms is about 3 miles, so it's not too bad. It's a little bit of a drive. You have got to watch how much driving you actually do, because it can hold you, especially if you meet someone in the lane, it can hold you up a good like quarter of an hour, 20 minutes just driving in. You soon lose loads of time just doing that instead of working. So I'm just driving out there at the moment, and then as soon as I get there, we'll see what's going on. Spring unit straight away. Put my head in the door to see the dry cows, and there we go. Look at this. This is one dry cow shed. Timbo over there and tractor driving past. One over there, I reckon. I can't see him, but I can hear it. One cow and calf there. Another little blacking. What I'm going to do, then jump over this door here, proper Batman style, and have another look round. It's all moving. A calves like catching a cold. When one starts, they all start. One there, see, with his tail a little bit cocked at the back of the shed. Got filth on that truck already. I wash my truck off every Sunday, so I like to start the week of fresh, like nice and tight, nice and clean. I know he's going to get shitty straight away. Never have I ever been to a car wash. I've always done it myself, or I've got my wife or kids to do it. Quite often now. Here's Tim putting the silage in. I don't know if you can see it because this window is, and the sun is shining on it, and dirt all over it. Southeast silage camp there. Tim's hooking the top down because we're on the highest point now where the cows can't reach. He is getting silage out. He's going to put some in the racks. He's also feeding a feed trailer up over there for the milkers. And I am scraping up. We've got the 125 up here. Been 115 all winter, but now. Alright. Tim is putting that feed trailer in for the milking cows. We're going to get them in the parlour and then milk them. We ain't got many in milk now. Most of the cows are dried off what we're going to calve in April, so we're down at fresh milk. Southeast silage here is very high. What Tim's done is hook the top off down because the cows can't reach here. And what they do is they eat down there, and then you get a bit of a like a flap, a ridge over. And you've got to watch that because the cows, I've heard old stories from old boys before, the cows will eat into it and then the flap of sides will fall on the bloody cow and squat them. Lucky enough we've never had that, but we're always there to lift it up. Some years it's higher than others. This year, for some random year, we've had a good organic cut, so we're not short silage on this farm. But all the other farms, like conventional, I reckon it's because this in the dry weather, right, we had that dry summer, this burnt up first straight away, this farm, but when the rain got going, off it went, it started to grow again. Down on the wetter ground, it dried up because it was seriously dry. Not often do we dry up, and once that had dried up, it never grew back, so that's why we're short on silage down there. So now we're going to put a wire out and we're going to let the dry case back rain on it. Alright, let's go. 452 always at the front. All the way through the whole season, I reckon. This one here always goes under the barrier, number 600, car 2 days ago. That's what they're coming in like. 2019 born. 2018 born, 2019. 2017 born, 2019 car. Sort of cows we've got coming in like that. Going to get some good grazing in this week. We've got some nice long grass and we're going to start strip grazing them. What's unheard of this time of year on a spring calving farm like this dry. But they're, we planted 50 acres of lay grass and that is just grown all winter, even though it's been really cold and horrendously wet. So I don't know what that is about, because most springs we go into, there's just nothing out in the field. When a cow's ready to go in a tank, we cut the tail tape off. So this one here has got its tail tape on, so he's not ready to go in yet. So everything dry has got a yellow tail tape. And then as they get, like, they come in and they get milk, and we hold the milk back 5 milkings, then cut the tape off. Well, we test the milk, cut the tape off, and then we let it in the tank. And we do that throughout the whole lot. So far so good, we're having a good run. Bought some milk down at the calf pen. Whilst Tim's milking, I'll get the milk coming down here straight away. At the moment I can bring it down in buckets, but there will be a time when I need an IBC, or I need our 50 teat feeder what's got a pump on the front with a long pipe, and then we can just like pour in litre. I've got a litre meter this time to go on the pipe, so like anybody who doesn't really know what they're doing can like look at that meter and just measure the milk into the calves. If I say 3 litres each calf, they can do 3 litres. But you can be, you know, you ain't got to be clever at all to do that. Anybody can do it. These calves here, right, so I walk in there, and what I want to see is calves jumping up blaring, waiting for their milk. Now, obviously, the newborn ones aren't, because they don't know the system. But these here, see, all up, except from that one there. What I'm going to check out in a minute, probably be alright. But I want them up, like, trying to suck me through the gates here, because it's a sign of a healthy calf. What we've done with these calves this year, I'll show you in a minute actually when I'm feeding what we've done there. Let me get some milk on the go. Just have a little sleep, this one. A little bit slower, but it has got up. He's literally having a little rest. 5 there, sucking alright. Another bunch here, 4 here. Took one out of there and put him with 2 real big ones because he was big and strong and he was just headbutting these off all the time. This is what we've done. We've got paste on their horns. See that? Worked really well last year. Instead of debudding them, just put a bit of paste on. Bull calf there, we haven't done it yet. We'll leave the bull calves for a bit. Here's the rest. A nice little bunch of blackens. Brush calves. Pace there. Only a little bit. A little tiny bit on there. We snip the hair, but there is no need to. We shaved a bit of hair away, but there is no need to. It does burn hair off. That's that calf I pulled out of the cow in the other video. They're drinking alright. See how yellow this milk is? Because these calves here, see, our colostrum policy is not like 2 days of colostrum and then they're alright. These calves just literally stay on the colostrum for about 3 weeks. The colostrum keeps coming, and then when you get a real massive batch of cows coming in, it's colossal amount of colostrum. So the colostrum policy is just colostrum all the time, and they do well on it. So if you do get ill once, it's not because we're not doing the colostrum right. All calves are up now. I've started getting the feeders going and all calves are up except from the learner pen what has just gone in there. We haven't got pens of 5 in total yet. We're going to start bunching them up soon though, because we are filling up fast. So yeah, this has been on a bit longer. And that's how it burns in. Slowly burns in. They seem to do alright. was a bit sceptical about using it, but it seemed to work quite well, that paste. Worked well last year, so we're going to do it this year. We'll carry on with it this year. I don't think you can get it from Old Valley anymore though. This is what I want, calves like this. Calves like that, calves like that, calves like that. I want black, red and white's alright, as long as they're like that sort of structure. That's what I want. I don't really like them like this, but this is what we're going to get a lot of because we're still trying to breed the Jersey out of them. It's going to take years and years and years. Jersey in the actual genes somewhere along the line is pretty good because you've got that Jersey sort of going and make it up and get going, you know, not as dopey as a Holstein. But this Irish sort of Frisian, New Zealand Frisian sort of genetics back there, as I'm on camera, I was looking at him, what a stunning animal that is. This one here, this is just absolute perfection, that one, that's what I like. Let's put a feed trailer in for the milking cows. One thing I have learned this year, what I learned from last year, what I've remembered, is if a cow has a little calf, then to put your hand up her and feel for another one. Got to do that quite often, in case you have a calf left inside of them. Don't want to be doing that. So I'm gonna, especially a little one, I'm gonna feel for another one definitely this year. Got caught out last year, but this year it ain't gonna happen. I'll be on top of that. At Hessian Sheet, I cut off a silage clamp earlier. About 10 ton of bloody silage on it when it fell down in this clamp here. Oh, nightmare those sheets. So you put them on the silage clamp in the summer to save you chucking an extra 20 tyres on, and then in the winter all they do is give you grief. They're hard to pull back. There's Topes there chucking it on the side somewhere, out of the way. They put it, they chuck it with all the rest. You put them on the clamp, you save yourself about 20 tyres, don't you? And then all winter you're rolling them back and gonna swat. The wind blows them down. They're heavy because they're wet. I don't know if it's ever worth it. It's nearly better to tire. But then we get into the summer and then we'll end up sheeting down and get bored and end up dragging them back on, and off we go again. Another year will be due. Right, last job of the day. Checking the dry cows, checking the young salt. I'm down the feed barrier, just looking around. Got to turn the lights on. I still turn the lights on the dry cows at the moment. About 5 o'clock at night, but the night starts drawing longer now, so it won't be long before I ain't got to turn them on. Only turning them on in the dry cows because the old electric bill ain't too bad at the moment. So here they are. Right, like I said, last job of the day. Now, if you like my videos, then please click to subscribe, click the little bell down in the bottom, I think it is. That will notify you when a new video comes up from me. So if you can stick my, you know what, my talking, my rambling on, hope it doesn't bore the absolute life out of you, and hope you're not just watching because there's nothing on Netflix left to watch. But no, I'll keep it going a bit longer until I run out of things to say. But I probably won't, because I do have a habit of talking rubbish.